Jenny, it's great to have you here today. Delighted to be having a chat and also to make some music together. Before we sing anything, and you brought a lovely selection of pieces to enjoy, tell us a little bit about how you got into singing. How old were you? How did it start?
Well, I was sort of brought up with a lot of music. My parents met at music college, and so by the time my brother and I were around, we were taken to a lot of Huddersfield Choral Society rehearsals.
Right, so singing and all the big repertoire, presumably Messiahs and
the biggest, best stuff. And we'd sit in the town hall in some rehearsals and sort of be drawing and say too loud. Yeah, so it's always been part of my life. And then I joined Huddersfield Children's Choir, and then eventually started singing lessons with my mum's teacher.
Great.
And then more choir, so National Youth Choir.
Yeah.
And then I came to London and went to King's College, had lessons at the Academy.
Yeah.
And after that, tried very hard to get into one of the colleges, and eventually one of them let me in for a master's. So yes, that was 2 years of master's and then freedom.
So actually you've been steeped in singing and sort of choral context, and then obviously moved into solo repertoire.
Yeah, but I didn't know it was strange to be in these rehearsals. It was just, I thought everyone was just doing that. And now obviously I've got 2 children and they come with me wherever I'm going.
It's just a case of normalising, isn't it? And you know, there's a whole other conversation to be had about music education and demything all this stuff to do with classical music and classical singing. But if you're just brought up with it and it's normalised, then, you know, you kind of hope it's an option for kids to think, right, you know, I'd like to do that. I like what these people are doing and what I can hear on stage.
Yeah, I get some interest in it. And, well, hopefully, I mean, my one's too young to be interested. The other one seems to sing and tune. I wanted to be a pianist. I need one in the house.
And so actually through that route from childhood and through big choral repertoire and then university singing and everything, you've probably been exposed to a big range of repertoire as well.
Yeah, but not opera.
Okay.
Like, my parents weren't really into it until I was doing it. And I wouldn't say I was into it, it's what my voice was doing.
Was that
and now I like
college?
it, I promise.
And was that a music college thing when you really got into that, or a little bit earlier?
I'd say I went to an opera in my first year of King's and I wasn't that bothered by it.
Yeah.
But yes, I got more and more into it as my voice seemed to do it. It was sort of exposure. Therapy. So and my parents are the same now. They go to the opera when I'm not in it as well as when I'm in.
It might be one of those formats that's not necessarily the most obvious thing the first time you see it. I mean, I actually can't remember the first opera I ever listened to or went to see, but then it's something that perhaps you kind of get into a bit organically, I don't know, or over time.
Mine was Faust.
Oh, really? Okay.
And I fell asleep and woke up. I don't know if I should say this. I woke up and they were having a big orgy on the stage. And I was like,
which production was this? Excellent. So, which segues nicely to the first piece we're going to hear, which is an opera that's probably never been staged with an orgy scene, has it? But I don't know, maybe it could be. Why don't you tell us what this first little opera aria is?
This is from La Bohème, and it's in Act 3 when Mimi has just overheard Rodolfo saying that he knows that she's ill and that's why they're having problems in their relationship. Spoiler, she's ill, sorry. So she's saying goodbye to him and asking him to collect all her things together.
Great. One of the things I love about this little aria excerpt is it's not very long, was it 2 or 3 minutes?
But
there's a whole range of kind of moods. There's some really conversational bits, and it's always kind of speech-like, improvised, and then there's, towards the end, there's the big sort of operatic soaring vocal lines. It kind of says a lot in a very short space of time.
Yes,
Great.
I love it.
Let's have a listen.
Yeah.
Ritorno,
something now completely different. We've gone from the big opera stage to a piece, I said to you the other day, it feels a bit kind of domestic and chamber-like, and I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just so small and intimate. Tell us what we're going to perform next.
So this is Now Sleeps the Crimson Petal by Quilter, and I think of my parents a bit when I sing any English song. Actually, all of the Boozy and Hawkes sheet music with the green. They just had so much of it, and so that's totally part of my upbringing. But it's so it makes me think of home, and then there's lots of talk of nature, and it's just this beautiful content, totally at peace feeling. But I did find out later when I was like, my parents love this, it makes me think of them, and then again, it's a bit sexual.
Yes, a little bit,
so I don't go that way. I think of joy and home.
But one of the things I love about this, and actually quite a lot of Quilter songs, is that it's a sort of masterclass in understatement. And again, there's, the range isn't huge, the harmonic language isn't totally enormous either. There's something just really beautifully poised and contained about it.
Yeah, and I think that's I love that about it, because there's such serenity, and it's just this being comfortable in the quietness, which is, I long for that.
Let's have we'll enjoy that over the next few minutes.
Yeah.
The quietness. Next up, we're back to the opera stage, and for a piece that's quite sort of dark and intense in a way, it's a bit more brooding than the Quilter. A lovely, amazing piece of music by Britten. Obviously, Britten's a big name for LCS and a lot of the music that we've done. Tell us a bit about Peter Grimes and this aria and what's happening when this comes in the story.
Right. Well, so Ellen Orford is a schoolmistress, and she's been supporting Peter against all odds. No one believes in him except her and one other friend. And I just love that she has this proper good, she sees the good in everyone. Yeah. So she's embroidered an anchor onto this jumper, which she's found on the shore. She'd given it to the boy that Peter was supposed to be working with.
Right.
And suddenly her world crashes and she realizes that maybe she was wrong the whole time.
What do you think about the way Britain characterises it? There's some, because I think it's quite extreme vocal writing. It goes, you're right down in the boots and then it's right up at the top at the end. Do you think that's sort of desperation? What do you think he's trying to do with the music?
Yeah, I think he's trying to show these sort of very different things that are going on for her, this sort of vulnerability, this like thinking of the past as a child herself. She used, like when she learnt to embroider, because she can see this in front of her, but also this huge fear. So it's that big contrast, and she kind of she daren't say it. It's magic.
Magic. Here is the embroidery aria. So after that very intense bit of Britain, we're away from the opera house and into a sort of concert hall, but something that's less domestic than the Quilter, a bit of a bigger stage for this amazing Strauss song. Tell us a bit about this.
Yeah, so this is called Cecily by Strauss. And yeah, it's just a song full of joy and big high notes and lots of amazing things going on with your very tired
Yeah, we've both
fingers
got quite a lot to do in this one, haven't we? But in a good way.
In a very good way. Yeah, he actually wrote it as a present for his wife when they were getting married. And it's just this song about loving someone, and if you really knew what joy was or what sorrow was, then you would be with me.
Yeah, great. What an amazing wedding present as well.
I
If
know.
only more people did that.
Yeah, my husband didn't give me anything like that.
Well, on a very happy note to end with, Jenny, it's been great having you here today, and thanks for all the beautiful singing. And to see us off, here is Strauss's Cecily.
Fürstest, du